so I get my echo. So the live stream's happening. I know it's happening because I start hearing myself. Oh, and the webcam is all messed up. Hey there, you are. Sorry for leaving you on your side there. Hello, let's see here. I gotta go over here and welcome. My name is John Skippy Limcool. This is a live stream event on June 2nd, 2018. It's June, one of my favorite months because it's coming up to be my birthday, and that's always a good thing, I guess. I mean, as you get older, it's kind of like, oh no, another one's coming, but I still like birthdays. So I was working on making grooves for the bonus, and I came across a song on that's in the charts, and this is not that sound, but it's really close. And it's a sound from Serum from the OMG library. That's also, this is a sound that you would find in Mega Magic Guitars Volume 1. Work real nice for that. So now I can show you a couple things with this. I originally made the groove. Let's see, we're going to be doing a lot of this, I think. So let's get this here. Hold on a second. I got to just clean up things a little bit. How is everybody doing? Let's see. Go Gemini, go. Right on. Gemini power. Yeah, Mega Magic Sting. It sounds like Sting too, but it's a song by Juice WRLD that has that kind of like, it does sound like the beginning of a Sting song. I remember that one. But it's Nylon Res Pad is a sound that I'm using that is in the library. Now for the groove, this was originally this. So if I go over here to the bonus grooves, the name of the song is Lucid, I think. So if I go over here and I drag the A up here, do I have, oh wait, I think it's the B I need to drag up, and I actually need to do a fix because I did, let's see if I solo this. Yeah. So that's without the sub. Let's see, undo. Oh, what did I do? Oh, no, it's supposed to be on OMG drums. Oh, I got the wrong groove. My fault, sorry. Get over here, Juice WRLD B. Oh. There it is. So it has a sub in it, right? And in the track that they did, they have the sub becomes the bass. So it's doing a bass line through. So there's two ways to approach this. If you just had, this is using the Contact 5 version of the OMG Urban Library. If you wanted to use this, you could get the bass sound, if you like that bass sound, to play it. What you would do is you would go over here to Super Macho Drums. This is the OMG 12 AM kit. And it's, so we go over here to Super Macho Drum, to the Urban kits, to 12 AM. And then what you do, see how this is MIDI channel 2. So you would go to the sequence file and you could take, let's duplicate it. I'll show you a cool trick. One of my favorite tricks in Logic is that you can go down here to your piano player scrolling right where you see everything, and you could choose this, and I could say delete to get rid of it. And then to quickly do that over here, I can select that again, and then under functions, actually it's under edit, I believe they moved it around. Where's invert? Select right here. Invert selections. It will take that one note and keep it so that it inverts. I do this in Photoshop all the time too. It's a wonderful thing. So I say delete, and it deletes everything but that note, because I picked just one note that I want to keep and then invert it so it selects everything else besides that note. And now it's on its own channel, on its own track, playing just that part while up here is the drums. And then all you need to do is go to this Contact 5 instrument, come here, and I showed this a little bit, but you play that note and then you hit solo transpose. Oh wait, I'm on channel 1. Sorry, my bad. Go to drums again. I didn't do this part. So this would be MIDI channel 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and then move this data up to the same instrument, but channel 2. And then select channel 2. I'm slow today. And now you hit solo transpose. And now it has that sound as its own sound across the whole keyboard. So then I could either go here and I could, let's say we wanted to play it. I'm using Option and the arrow up and down to just quickly change notes. And I want that note to be a little bit long. So if this is my bass line, that's one way to get out of just Contact and the Super Macho Drums library. On 2 tracks, I can get 2 different sounds playing on different MIDI channels. And if I wanted to have a third part, say I wanted to go back here to a kit, and I wanted to find a melody sound from another kit. Ocean Girls doesn't have any melody, and I don't think Nice does either, but let's see here. So let's go channel 3. Some of the grooves don't have. Maybe I want to use that. Hit solo transpose. And then I want to mess it up a little bit, so I would go over here and control click to make the quick load go away. And let's turn down velocity to the filter, and then use it. So just like that, I have created a basic groove for a song. Now I need someone to come in here and rap and sing, because I can't do either. And you would have a really cool track. And that's just using Super Macho Drums. Now, what I did in this case a little bit differently. I love the chat. You guys are just, it's like family. The chat every Saturday. When you do it every Saturday, it becomes like a Saturday, like, you know, all right, who's got corn on the cob? Who's barbecuing today, right? It's kind of funny. I'm just going to do my thing. So you guys watch and enjoy, and we have all sorts of stuff coming up. I'm going to be making MIDI files of drum grooves. I'm going to try to make 20 in 15 minutes. And I have 2 pretty amazing plugins you should know about. Plyshka. I'll tell you more about it, but they're They are really cool with rhythm, and it was perfect timing for them to contact me this week. And so I'll tell you the whole story about that, and I will show you these plugins towards the end. It's like, you know, the news stories. You got to save some juicy stuff to the end. So that's, if you don't know, stay. You will want these. This is next generation stuff. This is stuff I've been hoping someone would do that somebody has done. So that always makes me really happy. So now the bass part was here, and maybe I wanted to goose that a little bit more, make it more unique, more aggressive, different qualities to it. So what I can do, let's go over here to where first of all, let me, boom, and that way I kept the melody. I love that feature in Logic. That's one of the, other things have it now, the capture. It was recording even though I wasn't recording, so I could be playing and I'm not thinking that the recording light is on, and that's when I usually have my favorite ideas of music things to come up. So this bass line, let's mute it, and let's go down to Serum, and that's right here, and unmute it. And what I did here, I did a couple things to juice this. I'll show you I'll give you some tips on this. I used the pitchy G, and the original pitchy G, let's go back to the default version of this. If you listen to a lot of the music, sometimes the attack has more character than this. And I wanted this to have more character. And this is currently assigned, if you hover over this, it's assigned to the filter cutoff, which is actually turned off. So it's irrelevant. So I'm going to right click and say remove all destinations, so that this envelope doesn't have anything assigned to it. And I'm going to go in here, make it snappy, and then click and drag. And because this is using a sample, I want to affect the pitch of this sample. And that's nice and snappy. Then let's find the by using a little hold, that gives it just a little bit more, and it's not a lot. You don't need a lot. But here's without it. 0. I should just, hold on, shift. So that's nice. The other thing that I did is its polyphony is set to be polyphonic. I found, unfortunately, with Serum, sometimes it will click, but it wasn't in the case with this sound, thank goodness. And set polyphony to 2 because these are stereo samples. If you set it to 1, you will get, the other thing you can do is set to mono. Mono, I get this clicking. So the trick that I do is I just set polyphony to 2. And it clicks a whole lot less. There's a little bit, but there seems to be more clicking when it's set to mono mode for some reason. I've told Steve about this years ago, and it's still, I mean, it's a snappy in your face thing, but the mono with really deep subby things sometimes will have a click. So that way I now have the sub here, so I could, let's see if we, let's unmute the guitar part, and I can now go over here to, and it's F sharp. So what I did is I tuned this up so I can play in G, because I like G better than playing in F sharp. Now the keyboard part that it's going on doesn't really match, but that gives you the idea of how to use these in real world applications. You might want to do things like this where you limit, especially on subs, you want to limit so it doesn't, you don't want it bleeding over from one note. If you have a fairly long release, right? And you have this set to like 16 notes. that is going to be tough to work with in your mix, and your engineer is going to be pissed off at you. But if you set it to 2 notes, now you don't have sub-frequencies fading out while new frequencies are introduced, causing all sorts of nightmare frequency situations that are problems to get rid of. No. TRK1 from Native Instruments looks really good. I haven't gotten it yet. We will be looking at that probably. I have some, I'm not showing you yet. You gotta wait. I'm gonna keep you hanging on. I will say this, that since there's a lot of the ESC guys in the chat, I want to tell you just real quickly, the ESC stands for the European Sound Collective. And this started last year. Yeah, Bernie, thanks for the hint. Bernie is the ringleader, and I have a great amount of gratitude and appreciation for this gentleman. He has contacted programmers that I have great respect for, as well as people that contributed patches that are just Plugin Guru customers for these bonus libraries that I've done in the past, and connected all these people that live in the European communities together. And they have created a library that is a tribute library. It just freaks me out to even think about, you know, usually you think tributes and it's supposed to be when you're not around anymore. But they appreciate what I've done and what I do. And so they have created a library that I'm going to be selling on my birthday. And I'm going to have it at a really nice price for everybody. It's crazy. And then they're going to do their own libraries in the future that we'll be selling on the site because their work is top notch. These are all guys that have watched my videos over the years and learned things, and they just appreciate. And they, it's a really amazingly kind gesture that they have done. So on my birthday, I have a library coming from them that they gave to me that I'm going to give to you guys at a really cool thing. You guys are nice. Thank you, Gareth. I bow back to all of you guys too. Hands together, head bowed. It's such a cool thing. I love this community. The fact that there's over 50 people hanging out from around the world, chatting, hanging out, and then people watch through the week. It's just really cool. What an awesome thing. I want to point out one thing, just so you know. On my channel, something is happening. I'm going to be doing a thing where if you go to my channel right now and you go to the videos, now because I'm registered and logged in, you'll see all of them. But all of these that say unlisted like this with the locks, those are all live streams. And I'm going to do this so that every live stream, except for the most current one, is going to be inside of a playlist. So you need to go to playlists and go to live streams. And there's going to probably be over 100 of these when I get done. This is where I'm going to keep all the live streams so that when you guys come to my channel, it's just it's right now, it's just a whole bunch of live stream events. I've cleaned up these already. So there's 21 that have been put here. If you want to watch the live streams, these are kind of this bonus thing that I do just to share and hang with the customers and answer questions and have a good, I like, it's really fun to do this. But I don't like it crowding up my video list when you come to the channel. So I'm going to be putting them into the playlist. So make sure that I'll mention it from time to time because I want that to be known so that everybody knows what's going on and how things work. Okay? So, yes, without your teaching, this wouldn't have never happened. So thank you. Well, that's really kind of you guys. I am honored. I'm honored to be able to do something and enjoy what I do and make a living with it and have it be a win-win for everybody. It's just a really cool thing. So thank you. Sincerely, thank you. So that's coming. So that's what the ESC is working on. ESC Children of Plugin Guru. And, you know, it's fun to have other people's take. There's Kid Anthem is working on a library. Tim Dale, who's part of the ESC, is working on a library we'll be releasing this year. It's really cool to have all these people that are super talented and have their own vision for sound. And, you know, you sit with a synthesizer. And what's great I've shared this story many times. When we did the wave station, everybody showed up and everybody had their own patches, and the wave station right before our eyes changed personality based on whose sounds were in it. It was really inspiring to really connect and realize that, yeah, these synthesizers are flexible enough that each person's personality comes out. And so it's great that they're contributing to that. All right, so I want to talk just really quickly. I've done this in the videos and stuff about these 3 libraries and how they can be used. I did it in this style for this track. I don't need to say this. I've saved the MIDI file. I'm going to show one more style real quick. I want to just put this into a different genre for these sounds so you can see other ways that they can be used. And we'll use the Contact 5 version, and let's get rid of these. Save changes, no. Quit, no. And open this up. By the way, if you don't know, over here are these wonderful buttons that let you shrink down Contact 5 instruments so that when you get more proficient and you start having tons and tons of different sounds that you're having Contact 5 play, you can shrink it down so that each one doesn't have its whole interface and you have to scroll through all of them. It's accordion stuff, but you have 2 levels. You have a kind of shrinking just to the header, and then you even have a smaller one than that that just gives you the volume, pan, and meters, and solo and mute. So those are really cool if you don't know about those for working with Contact. It's a great way to move around. And I don't need to see the libraries at this point. So let's open up and play with, let's say, and if you don't, I had one customer that asked a question with this, and so I want to, let's cover this really quickly. If I go over here, let's see if I turn on keyboard so you can see. And I think I can make this shrink and it still shows me the keyboard. Good. So someone bought the library for Contact 5 and loaded it up and said, Skippy, everyone sounds the same. When I go through them, they all sound the same. What's wrong? I don't understand. The thing is this. The drum kit is the same for this range and from F sharp all the way up. It's the same for all 45. But right here in the middle are the 6 samples that we used to make the BreakTweaker library. So these are different. And if you like made a groove, I need to figure out what notes they were. Okay, 2. Oh wait, see, I'm used to different note layout and. So if I take this and I set it to loop and quantize really quick. If I change kits, these will change, right? So the middle of the keyboard is where it's at. Now, if I was to take this, let's mute that and let's make another one that's on MIDI channel 1. Oh, wait, I just want to do this one. Right, let's do this. Let's say go down to here because we don't need the multi-channel stuff going on for this. Yeah, so here, if I was to, this is silly, but just to show you, if I was playing up here, right? And if I quantize this, if I change kits, yes, every time you change kits, it's going to sound the same. That's the idea. So that wherever you go kit-wise, all the auxiliary percussion and these cool hits and the additional cymbals and hi-hats and other stuff and all the kicks and snares don't go away. Those are there as kind of your clay to further build up the groove that you're going to be building. So make sure that you realize that. I had another customer, I'm going to do this really quickly for Steven, that had a question with the OMG libraries, and this happens from time to time. Let's get Omnisphere. The question was that he loaded up the OMG library and just saw the names of drum sounds and stuff. Like if you go over here to the user directories, I think, I have OMG libraries in here. You see these things, but you don't see anything that says trance. You don't see anything that's like, where's the stuff? And that's because these are the patches. And we've saved out all of the patches that we use to make the multis. And to get to multis, you click two places you can click. Either the multi button right here, so it lights up multi, or you can hit the little multi folder and go into here. But if you do that from this button right here, this area right here changes. It can change from showing you patches when the patch lights are lit to showing you multis when the multi-light is lit. So that's how you can change quickly without having to go into the browser if you want, between multis and patches. And to load patches, typically it has to be MIDI channel 1. So click 1. If I go to MIDI channel 2 and I load a patch, I'm not going to hear it because my MIDI channel 1 is talking to MIDI channel 1. And you see 1 light up. And I'm changing patches. It's not sounding. So I have to click 1 and now it works. And if I hit multi, I can now go over here to all the libraries and I say OMG drums volume 1. And now you see the names. This is where they're at, is under multis. So here you can say the old days grooves and off you go. Okay? I'm at 85 beats per minute and this is 140 beat per minute dubstep. So, but that's where they're at. So you want to make sure that you understand the layout of these buttons is important and they're there for a reason. So multi will show you the multi browser. See how it says it up here in the corner? If you hit 1, this changes to the patch browser. Okay? So that is clarification on that. You guys that ask questions through the week, you're welcome. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't realize exactly how that works. Stop synths on computers without having to be a millionaire. You guys, my gosh. Remember, this chat is saved text-wise with the live stream. So when it's played back, your chats pop up as they show up. So make sure you say what you want to say when you want to say it. Okay? All right. So now, as I showed you just a minute ago, it's really cool. Let's see. I'm going to undo a couple of steps and see if I can get back to... Does it come back to the... Oh, wait. There. Now, if I go to the kit that I was using for that. All right, so we're going to do 15 grooves in 20 minutes. In a minute. But let's play this for a little bit. I'm going to just show how flexible this is. Actually, let's you know, I want to save this because it's a cool groove. So let me save. What is this? Like 85. Start and stop. And this is A. The way that I'm doing MIDI files, let's see, copy, export, fix that, and paste. The A groove will be one that works with just the 6 samples. And then I won't do this with every one because, oh wait. But I'm going to do it with this one. There will be a B. I'm going to have tambourine first. And I don't think he's here, but we have to give a shout out to Taylor. Because I made all of the 45 kits And then I went back and realized that I wanted parameters across the keyboard. Things were too loud. Things weren't right. This tambourine, I decided I really wanted it to take advantage of the velocity to decay, all sorts of things. And so he had a list of about 20 edits he had to do to all 45 kits so that the tambourine would play right. This sound would not be ripping your head off. All the percussion would not be louder than the groove. So shout out to my assistant Taylor. He did a great job so that this tambourine is really cool because it's really soft. That's also the power of this interface, is that you can take sounds, if you wanted this to be short, and then have velocity to decay. You can do it, so it's really cool. So, shout out. And let's add some more stuff. One thing you might not know, in this keyboard, there's a couple cool samples I want to point out. The F#5 and G5 are reverse sounds, which are really useful for all this kind of stuff. Like, it takes a minute to figure out your timing for that, but I think that's about right. So we could go like that, Command T. Get these guys to be like this. Now, also, they're, like I said, G and F#. So if we transpose this down, this is shorter. So then you need to just move these to be a little bit later. And I want these all to be the same velocity. So if you have things selected and you use your velocity, this will take it up to a certain point. But what happens is when something hits 127, it stops. And if you hold down Option, you can override that and set it so that when you crank it to 127, now they're all the same velocity. And now I can move it down to where I want it to be and they'll all be the same. Cool. So let's add some more stuff to this. Let's have a little extra hi-hat in there, and maybe a ride cymbal or a crash. Okay. So we've flushed it out a little bit. Let's hold down Option and get these guys to be a 4 major groove. Turn off loop. Quantize, Command J, so they all become one. And this is B. And so I Command Copy. And then if you hold down Option, Command E, you can export this as a MIDI file. Paste, save. Okay. I know I was going to show the genre things, but you guys know what these are, flexible patches and sounds and stuff. So we'll see kind of the flexibility. Taylor, here's to Taylor. Yeah, because it's really nice to have all the kits where they are working the same as far as to the additional percussion stuff. I wish I had the time to make patches to go along with this because it's so fun to take the different kits and then I'll show you a couple things that are really fun. So let's take a groove. This is a different map. Let's do that one. Do more techno. And quantize. Now this, I might want to have a special feel. So let's go down here. That's nice. And if you look at Command 7, you can see the timing's a little off. That gives it that feel that's really cool. Now, I'm going to use the conga, but watch. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. And let's quantize it to the same cool hip hop feel. Now, this hip hop feel has got a certain notes are not included, so it's cool for the kick and snare. Now watch this. This is what's so fun. Go here, tune these, pan over here, and when this hits, have a splash of verb. And maybe a hit. There. That's the power of this, is to mess it up. But I can't do this. I'm not including bonus drum kit patches. It's just going to get confusing if I start doing that for specific grooves and stuff. So I have to use the stock, these guys. But it's so easy to change things around to do different things. So let's add to this a little bit more. Let's do that one. Okay. I'm not going to quantize that. I like the feel of that. Oh, I did quantize it. No, I didn't. Good. I need to quantize just these first ones. So I'm going to go to MPC. I'm going to put the strength at about 65% and quantize. And I need to make sure this first one is on the downbeat, or else Logic will tell me that I'm bad again. So say like there. And what's cool with this is if you select all these, you can strengthen this in real time while you hear it. Again, I do love Logic. It's just, I've used it for so long. What else do we want to add? Now let's add what else does it need? That's kind of cool. So let's group this all together. Command J. Oh, wait. Turn off loop first, or else it's turn off loop and then Command J. And this is 85 again. Okay, we got to change tempos here. We're getting strong, steady tech. And this is the B because it's got all this stuff in it, right? So I select all, copy, export, paste, and then go over here and change this to A for the next one. And for this one, what I'm going to do is I want to select just these notes from here down, right? So we can just go like this. And I showed this function to you earlier. If you go to select and you say invert selection, boom. And then this is named A already. Copy, export, paste, done. So that's done. Let's see. Somebody name out a song. Best quantize ever, MPC 60 and ASR10. They were really good. Oh, thank you, Thorsten. Your new bundle sounds great. I appreciate that. If you pop out a song name, maybe I'll try to make that drum pattern. Let's see here. Oh, you can't see that yet. Go away. Let's do this. Let's go to right here. Smoke on the horizon. Dun, dun, dun. Let's find a kit that will work for that. All right, let's do that. What the heck? Let's say a little bit faster. All right. It's definitely faster than that. Like 110. Faster. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right. What else do we want to add to that? Let's see here. Okay. All right, so we got that. Quantize loop. I'm going to put a clap in from this one. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so quantize that. And then I'm going to select these guys and bring down their strength to quantize. Just so it's got a little loose. Maybe not quite that loose. And then let's turn off loop. Join. This is 116. Smoky water. B. Export. Yeah, fix them. Paste, save, and then we can move this out of the way. We don't want those. Option Control I. I think it's Shift I. Cancel. Let me see. Is it Shift I? Yeah. So I want to select just these guys and then Shift I, invert, delete, and then rename this A, because the A's will work with. The reason I'm doing it this way, I'll show you. I thought I didn't fix them all. Paste. If I copy this to BreakTweaker and I call up the same, this is using the nice kit, right? Go over here and say BreakTweaker. I'm gonna have to go through and put the name of the drum kit in before I get these to you guys as the bonus. But if I call it BreakTweaker, and then I have to transpose everything down 1 octave. That's the rule of this library. Transpose. There. So I'm using this. We use the same note assignments for BreakTweaker and the Contact 5 library, but I shifted it up an octave so that it was in the middle of the keyboard range. But the middle of the keyboard range, well, it's not middle, but the octave up is where the groove is, where you play a note. So it's a little give and take. So I'll have to make a separate version of the library for BreakTweaker where everything's transposed down an octave. That will be 100 bonus grooves because the B grooves sound the same as the A grooves because it's only playing stuff for those notes and you don't have stuff for those additional notes. So that's how it works. Let's see. What's going on? Oh, let's do funk. Use a different kit. Yeah, you only kick and snare for funk, man, and hi-hat. Let's see, is that right? No, not quite right. Let's do a little bit different funk feel to that. That works. Actually, boom, boom, bam. I like that. Get my prints on here. Can anybody sing like Prince? Kiss. That's kind of cool, but I want them all to be the same velocity, so crank it, then bring it down. Kind of a syncopated kind of funk thing. All right. 115 live stream funk. This is the B. So turn off loop. I gotta copy, export, paste, fix, paste, and then change to A. Copy. Oh, then we need to go over here to this and say we want just this, and then Shift I to select everything else and delete it. Export A. All right, so I could keep doing this. I'm not going to keep doing this. It's getting kind of boring, and I'm sure that you guys are just sitting there going, okay, cool groove. Okay, cool groove. So let's move on. What was the other things I wanted to cover? I'm looking. Oh, go away there. All right, the Plyshkas. Let's do the Plyshkas. I'm going to do one more groove, and then we'll do Plyshka to that. All right, so let's see here. Go like this. Walking on the Moon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sign of the Times was kind of what I was thinking when I was doing that, you know. But I didn't do the exact same. Let's do a groove, and then we're going to show you these two plugins that you should know about. The first one is nice. It's the second one that's the oh my goodness. It's an oh my goodness thing. So let's open up our kit. like this groove. I like that sound. This is post Malone or pre Malone. All right. So let's add more to it. Okay, and move that to here. Okay, so we have a nice little groove. Let me say this out really quick because I like this. Let's join it all together. 116. Live and happy. B. Export, paste. And then I'm going to just select this and Shift I, delete. This is the A. Copy, export, paste, A, undo to get everybody back. So there's this company that contacted me. I have a number, because there's 30,000 of you guys that have hit the subscribe button, which I thank you for. Companies send me notes about new things that they're releasing all the time. And usually I shy away from doing that. I don't do that a lot. I haven't at this point wanted to do have my channel full of reviews of lots of things. I'm going to do more, I think, because it's kind of fun. And I go take a look at what's happening, what they have, and if it's just another compressor, and usually I'm like, I'm not that interested. But this is a company that I hadn't heard of before, and these plugins are pretty amazing. Accusonus, sorry, I'm new to them. And right here, they have two things. They have Beat Farmer, or Beat Former, I guess it's called, which is a, let's see if I just get the groove going, and you can. Ableton Live has a thing kind of like this as a plugin. It's a combination of EQ, transients, saturation. It's got some really cool abilities to do mid-side and stereo stuff. So you can take a drum groove like this, do some, let's go back to the default. You can squish it, take all the ambience out, or emphasize. And the sound quality is great. Air gives you more of that nice air, and you could use left, right, or you can go to the mid side. So you can get here's the transient change. You can have punch, and then you can choose what frequencies are punched and which ones are air. Hear that change in the frequency there? Really nice. Very musical if you need more low end. I've used it on some recordings with the kick that didn't have a lot to it, and it does a really good job of focusing and emphasizing the kick. So this is a plug-in to take drums, percussion, stuff you need to have be snappy. This will do it. Here's without. So I squashed it. I have more air. I have more punch. Limiter is currently turned on. which keeps it from going above 0 dB. It's supposed to be a colorless filter or colorless limiter. So this is nice. And if you need this type of thing, their website, let me show you their website real quick because I want to do this right for these guys. These are, they're in Boston and I think it was Greece. Accusonus.com. They have a pretty spiffy website. Accusonus, right here. And their products, this is a beat former. And they've got good stuff going on. $79 since it's an introductory thing. But the one I want to show you about that's crazy is this. This is insanity. This is Regroover. Okay? And they have a couple different versions depending on if you get it with the Pro version, which lets you drag and drop. You guys, your jobs are going to drop. So let's enhance this. Well, let's use this groove. Let's turn off beat former for the moment. Let's add a little bit more mid to. Okay, so we got the groove stuff going on, and I'm going to just limit this to 4 measures. Actually, we'll probably just do it to 2 measures just to keep it easy. And then let's loop it just to make sure that. Okay. So I'm going to bounce this out from 1 to 3. Just an audio file. We're going to call it groove. Actually call it groovy. There. So why is it wants to open up iTunes? It's so funny. So I now have an audio file. You can't hear this, but let me make sure over here. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Regroover and watch what this does. This is kind of insanity. So it's, we don't need, oh, they're still on the Contact 5, so let's get rid of all this stuff. Just double click. It's its own instrument that you play from the keyboard. So you can go here to Instruments, Accusonus. They were kind enough to give me an NFR for Regroover Pro. So here's how it works. Take this audio file and you drag it in. It analyzes it. Okay. And it's there's something with the tempo thing. I don't know why, but so here is this played from Contact 5, right? Oh, wait. Let's see. So I want to say this should be. And let's mute this. So here's the groove from, right? So let's mute that. And then here it is from Regroover. And what's fun with this, it separated it into 4 tracks. Right? You can have it actually go up to 6 tracks if you want. Oh, we got to stop. Split it. Okay. This will make it into 6 different frequency bands to play with. And now you can do stuff to this that is pretty insane. To start with, there's effects. So you can go over here to the effects. Let's turn on the gate. Let's compress this. Turn on the compressor. Let's go to EQ and get rid of the low EQ. Okay. Let's go to the kick. Oh, this is snare. Let's saturate this. Bring up the transient. Drive. There's a post filter. I wish there was a post high pass filter, but it's just low pass. So now we've changed the sound. Okay. Then you can do such things as, if you want, you can click here and say, I want this to be 1 measure, and I want this to be a 1/2 a measure, and I want this to be a 3 count. If I want, I could say I want from this track here, maybe I like this, so I can double click and expand this to be a little bit bigger. If you just click right here, you can drag it over here and put it into this map where it becomes a drum kit. You can play these samples as individual samples. So let's say C4. Oh wait, make sure I'm down here on. There's that. Maybe I want to get some cool snappy snare thing. So let's go to the snare and make this a little bigger and drag this over and put that on D. You can build up an entire kit, and then you can go to export and export the kit as samples. So look out for crazy new drum sounds. You can hit the editor button and you can see each of the drum sounds and apply an envelope, volume. You can reverse it. You can truncate it, all from within here. So you can take all your drum loops and all of a sudden explore them in new ways. For example, let's do this. Let's go over here to, I have a rather large, extensive library of drum grooves. So let's go over to drum loops. And let's go to like, here, let's just play with this. Here's, drag it over and let go. And it will analyze it and hit play. If I'm in my sequencer. So it's analyze this. The other things that are fun you can do with this, if you want to see some more things that are kind of crazy, you can cut it in half in tempo so it's twice as fast. You can, I mean, it's crazy to have this kind of stuff. The mid sign will let you to change. So you can do those types of subtle things to this sound. It's really cool to take a groove like this and then say, oh, I just want to use this. And then use that. And then go up to Contact 5 to your OMG library. So all of your drum loops, I've been looking for tools like this that let you take drum loops and pull them into pieces and then go over here and add something fun to it. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy effects you could do to this type of thing to make it different, you know? So Regroover is a plugin that if you love groove and you want to pull it apart and explore it and get new things out of it, this is definitely something that I'm looking at chat now, which I haven't looked at for a little while. Any questions? The price, we can go to their website, and if you go to their store, these have introductory prices. It's, I believe, $99 for just the Essential Pro, and they have a page where they will show you the differences between the versions. There's all sorts of things you can do with the Pro version you can't do with the Essential, but you can still take drum loops and pull it out to where you have all the independents, split it, instant layering and stuff like that. So it just depends for the, I mean, here's the way I look at it. When it comes to tools like this that are doing something you haven't been able to really do before, there isn't really a price. This is priceless in some respects because it's something kind of new. To be able to take loops and pull into these frequencies, there's other ways to do this kind of stuff using a multi-band limiter and just soloing a channel, but then to be able to go in and put these 4 effects and pulling out as separate samples and playing from the keyboard is crazy. And on top of this, check this out. So I could go over here maybe I like this, so I want to expand this to be a little bit bigger. Like that. And I want to grab here and put that here. Notice it didn't erase the first samples. So I still have the congas and stuff from the other groove that I did. So you could actually go through your library and go through and find all sorts of different loops. These are all, let's see here, find something totally different. Come here, hello. Not that. Let's try this. No, wrong library. Let me go to a different library. Okay, let's drag this over. What the heck? It'll analyze it. Go over here, hit play. And if the tempo is wrong, you can say, oh, it should be cut in half. And the original tempo was 90, I think. So you can double click here, say 90. It'll analyze it. I like that hit. So let's go over here, pull this hit, go over here, put it here. These are things you can do, I think, with the, I don't think the basic essential version comes with the ability to make your own kits. But this is where it's really fun. I mean, go over here, pull these out. Click down here where you see the waveform. Let's put that on F. So making new drum sounds just got a whole new toolkit to play with. It's really fun to play with. And you can take anything in your library, any loops that you have from all the different, we all have gigabytes and gigabytes of loops. And it's like, what can I do with these loops? They don't sound like 1980 loops. I mean, these are like from a library that came out like in the 90s. Let's see, this is supposed to be, what was the original tempo supposed to be? 100. There's a little, the tempo discrepancy is a little funny. So go 100 and cut it in half. Oh, wait. I could take out this. And now I have this really cool no snare, no kick version. Let's see. So that funny stuff's right there. So if I wanted to, I could say get this to this. And I think, where's the tool to erase? I can say erase. I thought I could say erase. There's it. Yeah. So if I go like this, there, those are erased. Aren't they erased? I don't know how to do that. I didn't read that last part of the manual, how you clip length. There's a way to erase them so that they don't show up. I would think there should be a way. If you hit right here, if you want, we could go look for the manual that's built in right there to see. But anyway, you can do that kind of stuff. You can also regroove things around where you have this start here, have this start there, and maybe, you know what, maybe it did delete it. It just was also needed to be deleted up here. Let me see something. Because I think up here it's, yeah. So let's say if we say play. No, I still don't have how to get to the erase to work, but I hadn't worked with that yet, but it does do that type of thing, I believe. So you can get rid of it, but you can at least move things around. When you split, you move the selected parts to a different layer. Well, you can split it to the number of layers that you want. Let's see if I split now, does it? Oh yeah, okay. You just had to have it reanalyze it by, after selecting things, hitting the reanalyze button, and it got rid of it. Right, like if I wanted to get rid of this too, I just hit the split button again, reanalyze. Right, okay, got it. Yay! I love figuring out software on the fly. So you can move things around to create all sorts of new things. Let's make this techno. See, solo. Yeah, it keeps it in tempo and stuff like that. So the ability to get this kind of stuff happening is really cool. I'm just really impressed with it. So Regroover is a plugin you should know about. Now you know about it. All your loops, even stuff that's not drums, you can put stuff that's not drums in, and it will component pull it out so you can do some interesting things there as well. So I thought that was something you should know about. So Regroover from Accusonus is really cool. I'm going to do a separate video where I have it in my stream feed showing this, because they were kind enough to send me an NFR for this plugin earlier this week. So thank you to those guys, and I hope some of you are excited with stuff like that. One thing I want to do before closing is I want to give a shout out to Tone 2. They have released an update 1.6 to Icarus. This is what is in this update. Enhancements as well as new features. It can import samples, it can detect pitch, it can loop things to beat per BPM, so it's in time. You can actually check this out if you want to see something really crazy. Let's go to Icarus. I might have to do a library for Icarus at some point here, because it really is a fun synthesizer to play with. It now has so many synthesis modes that it's not even funny. And if you go over here and you say import sample, and I want it to be, let's say, to 16 steps, and I'm going to go over here to the Finder, and I'll take that drum loop that I was just playing with and say open. It will analyze it. And now it's inside of Icarus. And then you can get into other forms of synthesis. You could vocode it. If I wanted to do this as something differently, oh wait, let's close. How do I get out of this? Exit. Their interface still does not make me super lovingly of it, but resynthesis. Let's choose that same drum loop. And you can, and that's one oscillator, and there's 3 oscillators. So you could build from here and do all sorts of, and the effects, I have to give a shout out. They added some new effects. These things like the gated with the reverb reverse. You could say like, I've always liked that they have this duck, which is cool. If you use the duck, There's a way to get it so that the sound goes away while you're playing and then comes up when you're not playing. But anyway, they keep adding new things to Icarus, and so shout out to them. There's an update to Zebra, which is really great for 2.8. That's got a really cool interface. Shout out to my friends at Yuhi as well. Any questions from you guys? Tip for the weekend: Spitfire put out a soft piano and a 14-string ensemble for free. Yeah, the Spitfire Labs is cool. I have a bunch of the stuff from the labs that they've provided. OMG will be coming out for Omnisphere. Yes. It's going to take a little while. When school is out, I have arranged a trip. I'm actually going to Costa Rica with my daughter at the end of June and into July. So sometime towards the end of July, I will probably have OMG Urban out for Omnisphere. But not while I'm in Costa Rica. I am going there with my camera and a field recorder, and I'm going to enjoy seeing all sorts of crazy things by the equator. Can't wait to go. Yeah, it has some vocal stuff that's, yeah, Icarus has, if the vocal and the quality of the vocal stuff, they have, in fact, in the presets right here, you can click and go to new in 1.6, and they have, there's like 50 new patches, and some of these, the things that it can do to samples.
Won't get ready, won't get ready, won't get ready, won't get ready, won't get.
Everything has to have delay on it, which drives me nuts.
Just let me free. I wanna see you going crazy. Just let me free.
It's a very kind of clinical, clean sound, but it sounds great in a mix. And if you don't know of Icarus, you should download the demo from Tone 2's website. It keeps getting better. The list of synthesis, when you go over here, let's see if this was to be, if we go, where's their edit? Oh, there's a sample of the way that it was edited. Where's their exit button? Exit. File, init, patch. When you go to here, to all the different types of synthesis you can do now, including FM, phase, harmonic. These are all synthesis types that are now built into here. So, oh, that's the different waveform types. So you could say sample, choose a waveform. Then I think you get into So I'm not going to do a demo on Icarus at the moment, but if you want to check it out, I just want to give them a shout out, because anybody that keeps supporting and bringing out incredibly cool new features like that for their updates gets a big thumbs up from me. Yeah, it's getting closer. They've got some big distorted dubsteppy. They're trying to do the dubsteppy kind of thing, and they do it and it sounds a little different. So it's kind of a new thing in a respect. So something to check out if you want. All right. I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me for this afternoon. Thank you, Thorsten. That's nice of you. It will be a fun trip. We got all sorts of stuff. We're going to the Caribbean side. We're going to spend some time hanging out in the volcanoes, doing zip lines, do the Pacific side, and enjoy some sunsets, and then get all fired and come back. And there's all sorts of things for the year to do. So we have a lot of work to do. So, cool. Yeah. Spitfire is starting to move from Contact to their own sample engines, and these new labs that they're doing, they've got some new things for free to check out. So, hey, shout out wherever you're from. Yeah, it doesn't have the perfect, the synthesis inside of Serum is pretty unrivaled to this date for the oscillators. For the aliasing, as you go up the keyboard, stuff like that, Serum still sounds just really, really great. Shout out from Portland, Oregon. Albany, New York. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks, Paul, for being here. Shout out from PDX. Holland. You're welcome, Greg. Bothell. From Spain. I want to go to Spain. Oh, that's another thing. It's so nice to have customers in all these countries that I want to visit. I had 2 notes this year, this last week, inviting me to South Africa and to Ireland. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. Definitely want to come see everybody. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Well, have a great week. Be productive. Good luck with music production. OMG Urban is a ton of inspiring sounds. Hope you enjoy the libraries. And I thank you for your support. And June 16th, a new library is coming from the ESC. So shout out to the ESC. It's pretty cool. So hands together, head bowed. Be well. See you guys later. Bye.